Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Binti Zaidi and I'm from Faculty of Business and Communication. I'm from International Business student. I'm from 22D and today I will present about the cross-cultural self-assessment and reflection. For the cultural self-assessment, I will talk about my cultural identity, which is my cultural background, my cultural dimension, influences, values and beliefs, and the cultural adaptations. Okay, first of all, for my cultural backgrounds, I am 21 years old. I am from Malaysia. My cultural background is tied and deepened with the culture in Malaysia. This is because I was born and raised in Malaysia, where Malaysia is a country that made up of various race, religions, and culture. My ethnicity is Malay, which is the biggest ethnic groups in Malaysia, and my nationality is Malaysian. So Malay people they have a lot of unique culture that makes them different from other cultures. And yeah, I am a Muslim and I have been a follower of Islam since I was born until I was brought up in Islam. Islam has played a significant role in my family values, which portray the importance of compassionate, honest, and respectful people. Next is the language that I use is almost every day I use is the Bahasa Melayu, where I will communicate with my family members or my friends in Malaysia. Okay, next is the cultural dimension. There is three cultural dimensions that portrays my cultural identity. Okay, first one is the individualism versus collectivism. As we know, Malay culture is based in Malaysia, which is Malaysia is a collectivist country. So Malaysia has a lot of culture, which includes various race and layers of society. So I can say that my cultural identity is based on the collectivist dimensions. It is because I have been raised with a lot of culture that shows my Malay cultures, such as greeting people when we see each other, eating rice with using our right hands, take off the shoes when we want to enter the house. Okay, for the next dimension is the power distance. Power distance is deeply ingrained in Malay society. There is a clear understanding that power and influence are unevenly distributed. This shows that people with a high socio-economic will be given power, like elder people, community leaders, and the religious figures rather than young people. So, in the context of decision making, I always tend to refer to my parents as they are older than me, and also in Malaysia they have some the power distance have made some class of society such as the B40, M40, and the T20. Dimension is about the long-term versus short-term orientation. So the long-term orientation of a Malay culture prioritizes long-standing impacts over transient outcomes. There is an intergenerational perspective where the needs of unborn offspring and sustaining traditions for their benefit feature strongly. So patience and determination are valued over instant gratification. This is why my parents encourage me to continue my studies until the highest grade I can, because they want me to have a bright future, as they want my studies can make me a more useful person in the further influence. There are two events that influence me, which is the first influence of my culture, which is my family, where my family always taught me to respect to older people because they are people who with more life experience than young people. So as a Muslim, every year we will celebrate our Eid al-Fitr, which we will celebrate after one month of fasting, which is called Ramadan. So in that day, we will forgive to the people like my parents, my grandmother, grandfather, and also it taught me to be more respect to the older people. Next influence is that the leadership in my education. So since I was in a primary school, I thought that all of the leaders position will be go to the male, but as time flies, I can say that the leadership is not about the gender. It's not about the male and the female, but it's about the quality of the person. It is because when I was in my Form 6, which is when I entered my pre-university, I have become the leader of the Form 6, which I thought that like, oh, I can be a leader too because I was a female. So that is the influence me that I can be a leadership like others, because I have that values in myself. The values and beliefs. So one key value in my culture is gotong royong, which emphasizes the spirit of mutual cooperation, helping one another, and community solidarity. So every year the head of community will help on the activity of gotong royong, which involves all people regardless of race and religions, whether old or young, joining hands in cleaning residential areas from the mosquitoes and from the trash and all of it. And for and another significant value is adat, which encompasses various aspects of life, including greetings, marriage custom, and respectful. And next one is the beliefs. I am Islam, so Islam is a national religion to which most of the Malaysian people adhere. So, Islam values such as the taqwa, which is piety, akhlaq, good moral character, and silaturahim, which is maintaining family ties, are highly regarded. It's the cultural adaptation. So Indonesia is a country that has a 14 states. So since I was like kids until now, I've been raised in Johor. So I do not know about other states. So when I was 21 years old, I further my study in a Paradise, which is in the north. So I found it that their dialect is very different in a Johor. So I have to adapt myself with the dialect and the foods and all their cultures, because I will live there, because I need to study there, and I learned that I have to be open-minded to adapt with the others' cultures, so that I can know about other cultures. Okay, so I have to be the open-minded to adapt with the other cultures, so that I can live there peacefully without have any problem that I feel like I cannot go with that problem. Okay, next is the cultural reflection. In this part, I will talk about how my cultural identity influenced my perception on communication style, conflict resolution, decision making, leadership preference, and the cultural self-awareness. Okay, so for the communication style, based on my culture, which is Malay culture. So for the communication style, my parents taught me to always lower my voice tone when I was communicate with the older people. It is because to show some respect for them, and also when I was talk with others, I need to use good words, and I need to show the interest to communicate with them. Also, for the non-verbal communication, such as the body language, gestures, and facial movement, I need to show the pleasant facial expressions and not annoying facial expressions to the other person who is communicating with me. So it shows me to respect with each others when we are communicating. For the conflict resolution, I believe that all the modes have their role and approach on how to resolve the conflict. So in my cultures, it is better to have someone who is involved in resolving a conflict, such as involving the village head to be a mediator to resolve the conflict fairly without bias like a judge. And also, my culture also reflects that non-confrontational communication styles, where my culture taught me to deliver a message with a polite and full of manners, because I don't want to face any conflict with others and become a rude person, or I will prefer to my parents if I want to decide. For the decision making, Malay cultural identity may influence the decision making process by having a consultation with the elders. So, my experience, every time I have a decision to make, I will always refer to my parents, as they are older than me, and of course, they know more than I do. Like, when I get an offer to go to university in a place, it is so far from my home. So, it makes me doubt whether I have to accept the offer or not. So, I discuss with my parents about the decisions I should make, and my parents convince me to accept, because they have experience being there and know more about the location of my university, where they say that I need to accept to be more independent and be able to challenge myself to a new place and be able to generate knowledge. For the leadership preferences, I believe that leadership preferences is most cultures tend to give a man the title of a leader. As a Muslim also, in religion, they mention that in a family, a father will be the head of family, because he is the one who will protect his family from evil elements and can have a bad effect on his family. And also, a father is said to be the head of family because they are the one who earn the living to provide for his family. But despite my religion, we can also look at all the prime minister, since the first prime minister, and now they are all men, and not a single woman become a prime minister in Malaysia. So for the cultural self-awareness, the importance of cultural self-awareness in the workplace is to avoid different countries that have their own cultures. Next is to being aware of one's cultural predispositions and value is important for fostering respect for a difference in a multicultural environment. And the last one is when an employee understand how their cultural background has shaped their preferred communication approach, they can adapt their style to interact more effectively in multicultural settings. Okay, so for the last part is the action plan. So in this part, I will talk about how to improve my cultural competence. Firstly, to enhance my knowledge about culture, I will do some research, whether online or offline. So I will conducting in-depth research into various aspects of Malay and other cultures, will help strengthen my foundational knowledge and understanding of these multicultural settings. Next is I can improve my competence in culture by learning a new language. So learning a new language is an immersive way to gain deeper insights into a culture. When one studies vocabulary, idioms and sentence structures, I am essentially learning how native speakers conceptualize and communicate about the world. Okay, next is despite of learning a new language, I can go to a cultural festival to competence my knowledge. Okay, so by attending cultural festivals is an excellent hands-on way to deepen my knowledge and appreciation for other cultures. This is because festivals provide a unique immersive experience of music, food, dance, art, traditions, and values that typically cannot be learned from books alone. And the last one is directly engaging in respectful discussions with people from diverse cultures is invaluable for enhancing my intercultural competence. So with an open and curious approach, discussions are a powerful way to deepen my understanding of what it means to experience the world through diverse cultural lenses. That's all from me. Thank you.